we just want to explain here a little bit more about the Module 6 exercise, where we mentioned that we want you to spend a dedicated week to watching the speed of the ladder and its relative movement. And it's always important to have a nice template and a methodology, very well structured methodology, because when you have a good template, good methodology, your learning is accelerated because you know and you're guided to where your eyes want to look at. So as we mentioned, each day use the market velocity matrix to mark your observation regarding the different velocity types. So later on we do actually start looking at the various plays such as momentum, absorption, flippers, large orders, reversal zones. Now we haven't crossed that area yet, but this is what you will be using right at the end after you've done all the modules, to use this. Print this out, put this on your desk, laminate it down, and really use this to make your to really enhance your learning. But for the sake of this exercise today, we're really just focusing on the velocity level, the auctioning activity, the volume level, and the market vicinity. And then once you've done all the other modules, you can use them in conjunction once you've gone through the momentum, absorption, flippers, large orders, and reversal zones play. So what am I trying to say here? So let's just have a look. So if we are putting, we looked at this video earlier on, but let's just press play over here. And again, we're just going to have a look at what we want to be watching. So over here we've seen we discussed what velocity is. So if the market is trading here now again, let's just put this at the normal speed, and let's again have a look at our example over here. So what we're looking over here, we're observing, and as we watch it on the week, first just always have trust with yourself. Always have the trust in your own intuition and the trust in your own learning, because you only build upon your learning day in, day out. In the beginning it seems a little bit confusing, but as you start observing later in the week, your brain starts putting the puzzles together. So on your first day you look at this and you say, oh, okay, at the moment the velocity, so the speed of the exchange over here is actually rather low. So you might mark it on your little matrix here. You might write that velocity level in this area is low. So you should say the velocity is low. Now the auctioning between the exchanges, so there's actually auctioning, there's no prices being pulled or the market just going one direction. There's actually being auctioning happening. So you say your auctioning is medium to high. Then the volume, volume or the liquidity that on the book is fairly chunky. Say on an average is 200 to 400 lots on the bids and the offers, and the volume that's going through is high, as opposed to 20 lots on the bid on the offer, which could be low. So you could say volume is medium to high. And then the market vicinity, at the moment we're intra-range. So if we mid-range, volume level is fairly good, velocity is low, auctioning activity is high. And as you start doing this day in, day out, you start noticing, you start understanding the various speed levels of your market. And the moment you can understand the various speed levels of your market, you can understand its degree and its ability to move up or down. So what I want you to really do is as you finish all the modules, is to bring this up again and then use this as your comparison to determine if the velocity level is high, and if the auction activity is high and the volume level is high and the market vicinity is at the highs or the lows of the day, there's a really good chance for a momentum move. But that's, like I said, at the end of all your modules. But for now, what you really want to be focusing on is just by looking at the market and making use potentially every hour what you've noticed in specific hours. Well, how good was the velocity? How good was the auctioning activity? How good was the volume level? And how good was the market vicinity? And this is really important to understand how to develop your skill set in understanding the market environment. And once you understand the market environment, you then can understand what's the optimal environment for these types of plays. So what's the optimal market velocity environment? This being defining the market velocity environment. What is the optimal environment for these types of plays. And I put just a brief little template for you, so at the end of all your modules you can refer back to this. And as an example, great momentum plays happen with high velocity, high auction activity, high volume, and you want it to be at the highs or the lows of the day. And then you can refer to the other ones. Okay, so good luck with your exercise. And to me, once you really start understanding your velocity environment, then you really start to understand the price ladder and how to really structure a very potent trade to really favor you on the risk and the reward side.